Hello beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Miss Linda, a special needs educator, a clinical child neuropsychologist and a speech and language pathology. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are hosting another case and we are still talking about speech. So what do we want to learn today about speech? Wait and see. Welcome, Mr.
Thank you very much, Linda. My name is Peter, and thank you for inviting me into this forum.
Thank you so very much, Peter. We are going to talk about speech stimulation. But before then, many parents, many of you have been requesting on video about speech. The truth is, the need out there is real. I read your emails, I read your text, and I know for sure the need out there is real. So for today, we are going to learn on speech stimulation. So grab your pen, grab your book, your ears, and let's learn together. So welcome, Peter. I want you to kindly take us through speech stimulation. What is speech stimulation?
Thank you, Linda. Speech stimulation simply means the activation of communication. How can a child communicate? Using any means of communication, including total communication, because you realize that different children will communicate differently.
All right. Now, Peter, does speech stimulation apply to all children with special conditions or with special needs?
It's important to note that many parents note that their children has an issue when the speech delays.
Okay.
Immediately after they realize that their children are not talking like the others, then they start getting concerned.
Okay.
For instance, get a child with autism, that's the only time you'll know that my child, there is a problem. So you realize that different children, different conditions will need different stimulation. Yes.
So for speech, when it comes to speech stimulation, it's differ. Autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, their speech stimulation is different.
Because their speech disorders are also different.
Wow.
Yes, because if you say a child with cerebral palsy will have a different speech condition with a child with autism. Autism, basically you realize that the children are delayed in speech, they are delayed in language, but a child with cerebral palsy, you realize maybe they will need some muscle stimulation so that they can be able to communicate. So it varies with the condition and also the type of the underlying condition into the child. Yes.
And these underlying conditions, how do they affect speech?
Yes, basically all the children, majority of the children with disorders or conditions, the first thing, as we said, you notice that they have, as all the other milestones delay, speech is also part of the delay.
So they have other developmental milestones delay.
Yes. Think about the motor delays, think about the cognitive delays, some will have the physical delays. So as you check on all those delays, do not forget to check about speech and language development.
Okay.
Yes.
And now when it's come to age, now that all children have different special needs have different way of stimulating their speech.
Yes.
At which do we have ages that with this age we stimulate speech this way? How can you talk about speech stimulation and age? Take us through that.
It's important to note the child's age because age you compare with the norm group. But again, we say that every child is special in their own way, or they develop differently. So don't compare your child. When I say you compare, don't compare your child with the neighbor's child who is speaking and yours is not speaking, yet they are of the same age. But it's always good to have a norm group. So, but the most important thing here is to note that 0 to 3 years of age is the most important window for all the children development of communication. So after that window, then we have 4 to 5. That also is a very important window, and the window closes at around 8 years of age.
Okay.
Why 8? 0 to 8 children are developing and they are growing. By the time the child is 5 years old is supposed to be understood by about 80 to 90% of people around them in their communication. Yes, so if there is a delay, then you realize that maybe the child is not even, he can only be understood by people around him. So that causes an alarm. It could be as a result of delayed development in communication. It could be as a stuttering. It could be all the underlying conditions that come and cause the child not to be understood by people outside his family. So if you realize that your child cannot be understood by people outside your own family, then there is a question mark.
It's a question.
Yes.
Then what's that pyramid of speech? How can you say for sure this is how, when it comes to speech stimulation,
yes,
this is the kind of pyramid we have?
Yes, in speech and language, it has I call it myself a formula. We build the blocks to talking. So we build the blocks to talking. This means that we don't just start with speech. There are so many other things before we come to speaking. So the first thing, to me the most important thing I take is play.
Okay.
So how does the child interact with the toys? How does the child interact with the others? Then that one will push us to the next level of communication,
okay,
which is the child now developing the pre-communication skills. The pre-communication skills, can the child take turns? When they are playing, can they be able to take turns? Can the child be able to copy and imitate? These forms are very important foundation for communication. Can the child be able to eye contact? So, very important.
Yeah.
When the child is looking at you and you are talking to them. Can the child be able to play on the same thing with you at the same time without them feeling that they are being okay? So that is also very important. We call them the pre-communication skills. Then after there, we will check on the sounds. That's when the sound starts developing. There is the cooing, there is the bubbling. Then before we come to the word, then before we come to the sentences, and now to the conversation. So speech and language development is like a pyramid. And it must go through. So make sure that you make the foundation strong. Any building with a strong foundation, be sure that the foundation will last. But if you start with the speech up here, then there will be a challenge that the child probably, you've heard the parents say that others have started and they started speaking and then they stopped.
Do you think speech stimulation can also be done to children who have no any underlying conditions?
Very important. All children needs speech stimulation. Like you realize children from 0 to around 3 or 4 years of age, they stutter.
Okay.
Due to the developmental stuttering, which goes with time. So the parents can help to stimulate this language, maybe in building their vocabularies, in helping them to be fluent and such a thing. So all the children can benefit in speech and language stimulation.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You have heard that is the first part of speech stimulation, but how do we get to do it? Practically, how do we stimulate speech? Are you ready for the next video? Make sure you follow the next video and make sure you subscribe to this video. Down there, subscribe. Okay? Thank you for watching. Thank you for being together with us. And thank you, Peter, for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for watching. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to tell another one, and let them come and watch this video. Thank you. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.